end of you. Okay, the skeleton provides the framework and shapes to our body. It also connects to our major muscles to allow movement. Bones store minerals such as calcium, create blood cells in the soft bone tissue called marrow. Bones can break easily without enough calcium, and they can become dry and brittle and are subject to such diseases as arthritis, cancer, scoliosis, osteoporosis, gout, bursitis, fractures and breaks and amputations, and you don't want to start getting stuff cut off. The muscular system is our cardiac, smooth, and skeletal muscles. So now we're talking about the skeletal muscles. Cardiac muscles are found in the heart and power the action that maintains blood flow through your body. Smooth or involuntary muscles are found in the heart and organs. They surround the internal organs and are responsible for their movement, such as food through the digestive tract. You can't just wake up and say, oh, I just ate. I'm going to move this food through my digestive tract. Let me start moving the muscles. It's totally involuntary. It's an totally involuntary muscle which works on its own. And like you know, we have to understand how to really take care of our involuntary muscles along with our muscles, with our voluntary muscles. We have to understand how to keep them nourished so that they can give us maximum function for us to be able to have maximum output with our bodies. We have to start to remember to keep all those things in mind. Our skeletal and involuntary muscles are responsible for carrying out the actions and movements caused by messages sent from our brains through our nervous system. Get this now. Let me say it again. Skeletal or voluntary muscles, not involuntary, but voluntary muscles are responsible for carrying out the actions and movements caused by messages sent from our brain through our nervous system. So if you say, oh, let me get out of my seat. Well, first your brain needs to process that you need to get out of the seat. So that's the reason why it's so important to remember these things. Skeletal muscles are also responsible for maintaining posture, producing heat. When muscles lack appropriate levels of oxygen, they can cramp, they can tear, they can create pain when not used enough. So that means you got to start exercising once or twice a week. If you hate exercise, at least 3 times. And when you don't, you experience atrophy. And what happens is that they become useless. The next thing you know, you're immobile. Diseases and disorders of the muscular system include muscular dystrophy, fibromyalgia, tendinitis, multiple sclerosis, and muscle strains or sprains and hernias. So you already know what's next. If I tell you about it, now we got to go figure out how to fix it or how to nourish it. And I'm going to say it's not so much fixing, but nourishing the muscular skeletal system, the bones and the joints. So let us look at the daily recommended intake. The first thing we want to do is look at the intake of calcium. So for most adults, it's 100 milligrams a day. Women 50 and adults over 70 is 1,200 milligrams per day. Children aged 4 to 18, they need the most, 1,300 milligrams per day. Why? Because children are always growing, and it's very important for them to develop strong bones and strong joints. Let us look at nutrition, which is naturally high in calcium. So first, you're going to jump to the seeds, which are high in calcium. Poppy seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, and celery. Get this. Just 1 tablespoon of calcium, poppy seeds, contains 126 milligrams of calcium, which is 13% of the recommended daily intake of calcium. Just 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds, 126 milligrams of calcium, and that equates to 13% of your recommended daily intake. You better start getting some calcium. You get that poppy seeds. There are also other benefits of seeds such as chia seeds, which are plant-based and contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential to heart health. Fatty acids are so essential. Sesame seeds have 9% of the recommended daily intake of calcium, and not only that, they contain copper, iron, and manganese. Geez, this is a goodie. And I want you to really, really listen to this, really, because this is important. Most cheeses are an excellent source of calcium, but the number 1 super cheese is Parmesan cheese, and it has the most out of all the cheeses with 331 milligrams. Okay, just 333 milligrams, or 33% of the recommended daily intake per ounce. That's just an ounce. That's just 28 grams. Just 1 ounce. 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese will give you 333 milligrams of your daily intake, the required daily intake. Softer cheese tend to have less. 1 ounce of brie only delivers 52 milligrams, okay, as opposed to 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese giving you 331 milligrams, and that's 33% of your daily intake. So if you had 3 ounces, well, doggone, you have just about 99%. So let's go back though. Many other varieties fall in the middle, providing about 20%. Okay, but I just want to, an added bonus is your body absorbs calcium in dairy products more easily than that from plant sources. Many types of cheese are also packed with proteins such as cottage cheese. Okay, but this is one thing that I think is so important for people to know. So some people are lactose intolerant, but this is a tip that I want to give you. What is more, aged hard cheeses are naturally low in lactose, making them easier to digest for people that have lactose intolerance. Dairy also may have additional benefits. A recent study suggests it may lower the risk of heart disease. Another study found eating cheese daily was linked to a lower risk of metabolic syndrome, which raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Okay? And so if you can get those risks lower, then that's beautiful, because we all know that some of the silent killers is diabetes, hypertension, obesity. Those are silent killers, which are epidemics in our country. However, keep in mind that full-fat cheese is also high in fat and calories. So most cheeses also contain a lot of sodium to what some people are so sensitive to a lot of salt. Like people with high blood pressure, they can't have a lot of sodium. So you have to really do cheese in moderation. If I had high blood pressure, I would be speaking to my doctor first. High cholesterol, I'd be speaking to my doctor first, okay? Yogurt is an excellent source of calcium. It's a probiotic. It helps balance the friendly bacteria in your digestive system. Probiotics can help prevent and treat diarrhea. Probiotic supplements improve some mental health conditions as well. Certain probiotic strains can help keep your heart healthy. Probiotics may reduce the severity of certain allergies and eczema. Many types of yogurts are rich in live probiotic bacteria, which has various health benefits. Now, just listen to this. I want you to know about these yogurts. 1 cup, 245 grams of plain yogurt, I said, contains 30% of the recommended daily intake for calcium, as well as phosphorus, potassium, and vitamin B2 and B12. Now, when you switch over to low-fat yogurt, it jumps. The intake really jumps. It's even higher. And so if you had 1 cup of low-fat yogurt, you would get 45% of your recommended daily intake in 1 cup, which is 245 grams. Okay? That's what you would get. If you had just 1 cup of low-fat yogurt, that's 45% of your recommended daily intake. So if you had 2 cups of yogurt, that would be 90% of your recommended daily intake of calcium. Okay? One study linked eating yogurt to better overall diet quality and improved metabolic health. People who also ate yogurt had lower risks of metabolic disease, such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Now, let's get to some stinky good food. That's what I call it. Well, okay, here it is. Sardines and canned salmon. Let's get to the nutritious benefits of the stinky food. Sardines and canned salmons. I just have to laugh about that. It's so good to laugh after crying for a month. It's good to laugh. Sardines and it's so funny. Stinky food. Okay. I hope everyone's laughing with me. Sardines and canned salmons are loaded with calcium thanks to their edible bones, like those little bitty tiny bones they have. So a 3.7 ounce can of sardines pack 35% of the recommended daily intake. That's just 3 ounces of canned salmon with bones have 21%. Think about this. If you had some sardines, mackerels, or canned tuna and 1 cup of low-fat yogurt, you will have 80% of your daily intake of calcium. You will be eating good in the neighborhood. Some fried mackerels or salmon patties, fried probably in olive oil. Let me give you a quick recipe. Sardines mixed in your eggs, a fried omelet seasoned with garlic. Try it. It's good. It's delicious. These oily fishes also, these oily fish also provide high quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for your heart, brain, and skin. While seafood can contain mercury, smaller fishes such as sardines have low levels. In addition, both sardines and salmon have high levels of selenium, a mineral that can prevent and raise mercury toxicity. Okay? And so let's go back to something real important too here. Just remember, when you are eating fish, they're high. A lot of fish is high in omega-3s. So that's something to really, really think about. If you're getting your intake omegas, and you're getting your calcium, that's really, really good. That's something to think about. Now let's get to some nuts. Some crazy nuts, okay? Of all the nuts, almonds are among the highest rich in calcium. 1 ounce of almonds, or about 22 nuts, deliver 8% of the recommended daily intake. Almonds also provide 3 grams of fiber per ounce at 28 grams, as well as healthy fats and proteins. In addition, they are an excellent source of magnesium, manganese, and vitamin E. Eating nuts also may help lower blood pressure, body fat, and other risk factors for metabolic disease. So we know that that's important. And one thing that I think that I try to stress a lot for people, not just for calcium, but also for beans and lentils, not just the calcium, but protein as well. That we have in beans and lentils. They're high in fiber, they're proteins, and they're micronutrients. They also boost lots of iron, zinc, folate, magnesium, and potassium. So you get so much more wrapped up all in one in beans and lentils. Some varieties also have decent amounts of calcium. However, wing beans top the chart. A single cup of cooked wing beans has 224 milligrams, which is 24% of the recommended daily intake of calcium. White beans are also a good source, with 1 cup like northern beans. A cooked white beans providing 13% of the recommended daily intake. Other variety of beans and lentils have less, ranging from 4 to 6% of the recommended daily intake. Interestingly so, beans are credited with being one of the reasons why plant-rich diets are so healthy. Research suggests that beans may lower bad LDL cholesterol levels and reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. So when we start to look at this, there's so many benefits in beans and lentils. And so another great thing, another great food or juice or drink or that we can get is milk. Milk is a wonderful beverage. It's one of the best and cheapest calcium sources. And 1 cup has 237 milligrams of cow's milk. And that has 276 to 352 milligrams just in 1 cup, depending on whether it's whole or non-fat milk. The calcium in dairy is also absorbed well. It's easier for our bodies to process the calcium from milk than from eating. Additionally, milk is a good source of protein, vitamin A, and vitamin D. Goat's milk is another excellent source of calcium, providing 327 milligrams per cup that's just something of calcium, 327 milligrams, just 1 cup of goat's milk. So I don't know if people are fans of figs. Dried figs are rich in antioxidant and fiber. They also have more calcium than other dried fruits. In fact, dried figs provide 5% of the recommended daily intake for calcium in 1 source of grams. Moreover, figs provide decent amount of potassium and vitamin K. Even if so that's something for you to really, really, dig in and think about figs as well. So I hope people are saying, okay, I'm going to get this next time I go to the store. I'm going to get this. And a lot of times I tell people, just try to go to the farmer's market and look for foods, because it's getting that time of year. It's the summertime, and it'll be more easily for people to get more easily accessible. So fortified drinks, and this is something, so maybe you don't drink milk. You